And we are going live.
Matt found the button.
What somebody's alive?
Well, we look semi-alive.
Oh. Well, he tried to raise the dead last week with Dave on.
Yeah, it worked.
No, we succeeded. We got Dave on.
Necromancy does work. Oh no, we're going to do what we did last night on your show. We're going to end up going down there. Anyway, how is everybody before we start going downhill rapidly?
Yeah, not bad. T-shirt says it all.
Yeah. Don't answer it.
No, it says that on the back.
Tyler's found a chair this week.
Well, I was getting sick of standing for 2.5 hours a week.
Has he found a chair or is he just kneeling down?
Usually one of the kids. Sat on one of the kids.
He's adopting the position.
Be like Biodome. Become a table.
Ed Gein. That's all I've got in my head now.
Dance with you dead in my dreams.
Yeah. Dead skin mask.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to talk about music. Well, 4 of us are, and Tyler is going to talk about what he listens to.
You have to be careful here, talking about music. 2 fucking shows on trot.
Yeah, I know. Hey up, Hanky.
Yeah, right, Hanky.
No, hey, Steve.
You're calling me
to talk about Matt like that. He's not a pro.
Yeah, he's a pro at. Well,
I was going to say, what is a professional at?
Yeah, we don't know. Don't start again, Hanky. We do not want to know about your little fantasies. what goes on in that man's head is
if he wants me as his fantasy, that's fine. It's when he tries to make it a reality that we get worried.
Oh, worried. Okay, they said woodied. Okay, that's better than what I thought.
What you were thinking then?
Yeah.
Oh, I see, Tyler. There you go, Hanky. You're all right. You can have Tyler on loan.
Yeah, he's getting all woody for you.
Hey, I got to get a visa somehow to get out of this place.
Okay, well, things I've got desperate, mate.
I didn't think getting a woody was a qualification, though.
Well, it depends how bad your health is, I suppose. Why don't you just do what Mexico does? Instead of going from Mexico to America, go from America into Mexico.
I mean, anywhere you go anymore, you're screwed. That's the thing.
I'd go to Canada from America if I was you.
Yeah, they won't let us in anymore.
Can you blame them?
I mean, it's not your fault personally, but Jesus Christ, with some of the crap that's going on. Jeez.
It might not be his fault personally, but we can still blame him.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't suppose anybody's been up to anything good this week, have they?
Nah, not particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Usual work week, and well, everybody knows what happened, so.
Right. Music then. Mental health and music was what we were going to. We're actually going to do the subject this week rather than waffling on for another 3 or 4 hours. Oh God, Hanky's off again. Music and mental health. Oh, I definitely use music with my mental health. Definitely do. Be screwed without it, to be honest.
Definitely.
Whether it be listening to it, obviously in Lee's case, writing music, producing music.
Allegedly writing music.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Hey, I'm still waiting for that song to drop.
Which one?
The one that you were personally involved in.
Oh no, that's coming. That's coming.
Don't worry. He's had a little hand on the next one that's coming out. Just help me out on a couple of lines here and there, and then he's writing another one that's going to get us both into trouble.
That's normal.
Yeah.
At some point, both Lee and I will vanish. It will happen. We are going to end up like locked in the equivalent of Guantanamo Bay or something. We're just going to vanish.
Just don't let anybody take you fishing.
The scary thing is the way the world is at the minute. There are people disappearing, aren't there? There are people. That's the scary bit. Really are.
And if your cellmate calls you Bubba, worry.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, but what music, Hanky? What's your go-to for music?
Is that the response you were looking for, Matt?
Mm-hmm. 70s, the Jam.
The Jam. Oh, fucking hell, he passed away this week, didn't it, drummer?
Yeah, I didn't mind the Jam, but unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of Paul Weller.
No. It's all old stuff I'm never keen on.
But always found Paul Weller to be a bit
arrogant.
Yeah, that's the best way of putting it, I think. Yeah, a little bit on the arrogant side when he's
average at best.
Paul Weller can love me all he wants. It's not returned, I'm afraid, Hanky. You'll have to tell him he's going to be disappointed.
Hey, up first.
Right,
Hey, Free.
Right, I'm going to start going round here. Right. Craig, what's your go-to music for listening to?
I honestly listen to a bit of everything, but mainly I would say sometimes Beatles. If I'm really feeling a little bit aggressive, I would maybe possibly listen to a little bit of Ice Cube. Basically, if I'm something loud, sometimes.
Yeah. What's that, Anki? Who's Tyler Feeling? Oh, how's Tyler Feeling?
With his hands, hopefully.
Hey, nothing wrong with a bit of ABBA, Hanky.
There isn't anything wrong with a bit of ABBA either.
ABBA, I have to give ABBA their due for their actual the rhythm line of any ABBA song is good.
It's just half of the stuff that they wrote, they probably couldn't get away with today.
Oh,
No,
Like Dancing Queen, young and sweet, only 17. I don't think you could quite get away with that these days.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash, yeah, look, I do like Johnny
Yeah.
Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Come on then, Tyler. Let's hear what your iPod, because you're that era. You know you don't have things like those big black things. You know they're called records.
Hey, just because you were around for Laserdisc doesn't mean anything, Matt.
I was around before Laserdisc. I'll have you know, a long time before that.
No, I
Lazy.
mean, as far as music goes, I mean, most of what I like actually listen to is country, but that's what I was raised listening to. It kind of is what it is, you know. But outside of that, I mean, you've seen some of my playlists, Matt. It goes from rap to country to dubstep. I mean,
we ought to send in the links to the Dave Vincent country music songs.
That's cruel. That's fucking. That's
All right,
Steve.
Steve.
oh,
Steve.
Steve.
hey, Steve.
Oh, Dave Vincent. I swear that man lost the plot.
I don't think he ever had the plot.
He's done some random shit over the years, hasn't he, Dave?
Yeah. He still is.
Yeah, that's the problem. Go on then, Bill. Go
There's
to
a surprise you were a troublemaker, Steve.
I say, if my head was in a really bad place,
that explains everything. That.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If my head was in a really bad place, my reset is always Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Ooh.
Because that takes you right from the start back to the start of a breakdown.
Yeah.
And that's the place my head often went to.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was listening to 70s glam, big fan of Slade, The Sweet, Bowie, Mark Bolan. I liked stuff that got random, but I also liked ABBA and Johnny Cash. I listened to all sorts of stuff. I mean, one of my favourite artists is still Prince.
There's a few songs of Prince's that I really like. But I never really, not a massive fan. Don't get me wrong, he's a very talented man.
Yeah,
very, very
bloody good musician. Because when Purple Rain, he basically did everything on that.
Yeah, he played every instrument. It's a sort of, that's like, really, that was ahead of its time as well, really, because nobody did that back then, did they?
Well, Prince at 18 managed to walk into a record manager's office, set down the rules he wanted. He had control of his music, control of production, and playing.
Oh, he had his head screwed on. There's no doubt about that man. He was clued up. Really clued up.
I mean, which album was it? Diamonds and Pearls album. He went into the studio and in 72 hours wrote most of that and had all of the first cuts of all of that album. All they did was they rotated the engineers around him.
Yeah.
And within a week, it was mastered.
Yeah.
And he was in charge of mastering it as well. Yeah, I still remember at work, one at singles off Diamonds and Pearls came out, and there was a lass absolutely hated Prince. one of Prince's tracks off Diamonds and Pearls came on. She goes, "Wow, that's fantastic." She yells across the workshop, "Oi, Bill, who was that?" It's Prince. Don't be daft, I can't stand Prince. You ain't listened to him then.
Well, you do now.
Yeah.
There's very few artists I can actually say I hate. There's a couple of bands. There's one.
Keep it simple, stupid.
There's Metallica, who I despise, but it's not Metallica. It's not so much Metallica. It's one person in Metallica.
Did he happen to be Danish by any chance?
Yes, he does. He tries to play the drums.
See, my one's Oasis.
Well,
Oh God, cannot
Yeah.
stand Oasis.
yeah. What annoys me with bands like Oasis is they haven't really got any talent as such. All of their music really has been stolen from people like the Beatles.
Yep.
Mm.
The Beatles, the Kinks.
Kinks, yeah, going back through the old sort of late 50s, 60s sort
I
of
was gonna
Britpop
say-
stuff.
Yeah, they even stole stuff from bands like the Mersey Beats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who,
Which-
outside of the UK, did nothing.
No.
But at one point, they were massive.
Well, in the UK, I mean, that whole Mersey beat thing was
Mhm.
enormous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hiya, Lise.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
I mean, you look back, and another one who
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
I thought was brilliant was Freddie and the Dreamers, Freddie Garrity. That guy was a lunatic.
Yes, yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely was
He was talented.
For me, if you go in that period, the Kinks will always be one of my favourite bands.
Yeah.
I love the Kinks.
Mhm.
I think they were just so ahead of their time.
Kings,
Mhm.
Cream, Yardbirds.
The Animals, but not for the obvious song.
No.
Because we've
From
all
that
heard
period
that
of
song
time,
way
for me,
too many times.
it'd be Kinks and the Doors for me from that period of time.
Yeah. The Rockin' Vickers. Yeah. Partly because of who was in the Rockin' Vickers. Lemmy in a suit, that was entertaining in itself.
Let me in the dog collar.
Well, that was literally sticking two fingers up at his dad, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Stevie, yeah, Roy Orbison. What a voice.
Mm.
That man had a wow. Amazing voice. And I was going to say about this, but lyrically, what he wrote, the stuff that he was writing, the lyrics that he put down, absolutely stunning.
But I mean, if you want good lyrics, I still go back to the 1920s and people like Leadbelly.
Well, it's where rock and roll all came from originally.
Yeah.
So,
we come across a song allegedly from the 1940s, and it was entitled "It's Not Going to Suck Itself."
That doesn't surprise me.
I need to find that song now.
Yeah. And yes, it's definitely about what you think it is.
There you go, Hanky. That could be your new intro song when you do a show.
It's like another great song from the 20s was the Foo Fly. And that was about exactly what it sounds like.
There were some songs which were from year like that, like you said, 20s, 30s, 40s, which sound now quite innocent, but back then they would have been like PG-18 and proper.
Oh, if you actually understood the language, some of them were actually pornographic.
Oh,
Oh,
proper films, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
You know, such great songs as "Where Did You Sleep Last Night, Irene?"
Dust My Broom.
I mean,
Does your chewing gum lose its flavour on the bedpost overnight?
Lonnie Donegan, yeah.
He was a scouser as well, wasn't he, Lonnie?
Yeah.
Talented man as well. If you think about it, without Lonnie Donegan, if Lonnie Donegan hadn't done Skiffle, there would have been no Led Zeppelin.
No. Don't think there would have been a Beatles either.
Or a Dr. Feelgood.
Oh, Dr. Feelgood. Oh, yes.
You know, there's so many bands. Skiffle was the natural progression from the American folk scene, which was a progression from the blues scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was just an ever-evolving cycle of music.
Here's one for you. Keeping it semi-political as well. Screaming Lord Such. Right? Everybody laughed at that one because he was nuts. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
No, he was insane.
But
He would definitely sandwich out to a picnic.
He was good. He was actually quite a good musician.
He was.
Compared to the current government, if you had a choice now of voting for the Monster Raving Loony Party or the Labour Party, Screaming Lord Such would get my vote every day of the week.
Every fucking time.
Hang on, I'm trying to spot a difference.
Screaming Lord Such knew more about politics.
That was it.
Well,
because in every other way, our current government is the Monster Raving Loony Party.
I think it's an insult to the Monster Raving Loony Party.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, a lot of the musicians from that time period were fucking crackers. Lord Such, Arthur Brown, Captain Beefheart.
Oh God!
Oh.
Frank
Who was the Scottish guy?
Alex Harvey.
Alex Harvey Band. Like you said, Dr. Feelgood, bit later on, but
I'll say another one a bit later was Nazareth. When you listen to some of their songs,
yeah,
God, dude, I love a bit of Nazareth.
Yeah, my dad's a big fan of them.
Hair of the Dog.
Yeah.
They did some great tracks. Well, some good music came out of Scotland at that time. If it wasn't for Scotland, you wouldn't have an AC/DC, for fuck's sake.
Nope.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Connolly, of course, great musician as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jerry Rafferty, as we said last night.
Yeah. I mean, Rod Stewart.
Rod the Mod.
Rod Stewart, when he was with Fate and Faces, was all right.
Yeah.
It's when he decided to wear his leopard print trousers and it all went a bit wrong. It just
Yeah.
Until we went on Kenny Everett, and fucking Kenny Everett took piss of his ass, just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
I watched the Kenny Everett the Kenny Everett Christmas show that he did. It was Kenny Everett, and the end of the show was the Sex Pistols.
And
And
then
Phil
was it?
Lynott.
Yeah.
That was fucking epic. And Kenny Everett running around like an
Kenny
absolute
Everett.
lunatic. He was off his head. God,
An
you'd never get away with a comedian like that now, would you? Never.
I mean,
And
you
yet
certainly wouldn't get his animations with Captain Kremen.
I don't even think you'd get away with Monty Python now either.
No, definitely not.
Well, what you're saying that there was talk of them redoing one of the Python films, wasn't there? And John Cleese said he refuses to let them remake it because if they bring it back and do it for a woke community and change the jokes so it's woke safe, he said, "Nah, it's not happening."
Well,
nah.
So you're trying to remake a Python film or even any series? It'd be just like, yeah, you can't do it because it'd be just like the Pantera tribute. It's just not the same.
You know, how many jokes from Python would be allowed now?
Well, not to mention how many of the new generation would have no idea what the references even were anyway.
Mm.
Oh, I think you you're sort of, I say you youngsters, so I'm only about you, but your sort of age group would get the jokes, like the Dead Parrot sketch and things like that. You would get
like
jokes.
my age group, I would understand, but I'm saying like the teenagers and younger,
It's like the Hell's Granny. Hell's Grannies is brilliant.
Oh God, yeah.
They flipped it round from Hell's Angels attacking grannies to grannies being Hell's Grannies. So the grannies were all the troublemakers around mobile.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the irony in that. It's just that irony. They'd find an excuse and say, "Oh no, you can't do that. That's not fair on elderly people." The fact that 99% of the elderly people would watch that and be pissing themselves fucking laughing.
Right.
Well,
Well,
it's like Les Dost with mother-in-law jokes.
Yeah. You could have someone like Caitlyn Jenner doing the penis song.
No, we know Craig listens to.
Hi, William.
Yeah, William.
Hi, William.
Good timing.
You can't. But it's that thing of, oh, it's offensive. It's going to upset somebody, and
Yeah.
And what?
I was going to say, out of us lot, how much of Monty Python's Life of Brian can you quote?
Pretty much most of it.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays with the People's Front of Judea speech.
Yeah.
Where he wants to be a woman, but he can't have a woman. But yes,
Yeah.
we understand you can have the concept of being a woman, but not having it.
Where's the fetus going to gestate?
In a shoebox.
In a cardboard box. But I call it a Roboros.
You're not allowed to do jokes like that.
Nicely slid in there, Craig.
Yeah, thank you.
You're not going to allow. You can't do jokes like that anymore because it's going to. Somebody will get offended at it.
Or they have heard of somebody at some point in their life and they're going to get offended on behalf of that person.
Good.
I don't care.
Jokes are
I
meant to
really
be
don't care.
offensive.
This
If
thing
they
of-
want to take offence, let them.
Just like
As long as
music.
it's-
Music's out there to offend people and piss people off.
Yeah. Yeah, that and two others who would never be allowed, Steve. Yeah,
No,
Dudley Moore.
definitely not.
Yeah,
Derek
Mhm.
and Clive.
yeah, that wouldn't even be allowed to be piloted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, when you think about it, that was quite innocent, really, most of that. But then so was most of these things were pretty innocent in
Yeah. Well,
when you look at them.
you won't get away with Morecambe and Wise doing stripper sketch these days.
No.
You wouldn't get away with the two Ronnies doing the sketch of the sheik going in to buy the tomato purry.
Nope. Or the cross lines one.
Mm.
And God, can you imagine Bernard Manning if he was still alive? God.
And yet he used to be on telly every week
Yep.
Mm.
in the comedians.
And how many
Well, you look-
royal performances did he do?
You look how many show councils are actually cancelling Roy Chubby Brown shows.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Jim Davidson, the people are
Mhm.
cancelling Jim's as well. I know a lot of people don't like Chubb's sense of humour, but that's not an excuse to cancel it. If you don't like his style of humour,
Don't watch him.
That's fine.
Oh, exactly.
Don't fucking
Yeah.
go.
He's not my cup of tea, but I won't stop anybody else from seeing him.
I'd sooner go and watch Jim Davidson over Chubbs.
Yeah.
That's in my
having seen both, yeah, Jim Davidson. But the one out of all of them that really was funny was Freddie Starr.
Yeah,
I would love to go and see Kevin Bloody Wilson.
I mean, the thing was, Freddie Starr, if you were in the first 10 rows in the theatre, yeah, you were not safe because he actually walked across all the seat backs to get people in the middle of the bloody audience.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no wonder he knackered his spine up.
The person I'd like to have seen live would have been Dave Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're then getting into this thing now that you can't do humour about, like we do it every week. Because if you think about it on Lee's show, you've got Irish is technically, I suppose, is me. You've got a Scotsman, then you've got an Englishman. So you've got the start of a joke there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
None of us take offence at being taken a piss out of because none of us give a fuck. But nowadays, you can't do a joke about a Scotsman or the Irish or blah, blah. What? You know,
Well, that's why I called one. It shows Englishman, Irishman, and Scotsman.
Spike Milligan doing his Indian jokes. Everybody took offence at that, but they were funny.
Yeah.
He was born in India.
And he was born in India.
Well, it's like what it was an interview on Parkinson, if I remember rightly. It was Bernard Manning and there were Esther Ranson, and she was like, oh, blah blah blah, and he said, "If it's funny, it's funny."
Yeah. We do not take the piss out of Tyler. I've never done that.
We just
No,
point out.
I put that name on screen for myself, everybody. Just I'll.
The thing is, William, is that if you can't, you've got to laugh at yourself. If you can laugh at yourself, then it doesn't matter what anyone else says to you.
Exactly. Well, it's like the other American that we sometimes speak to, the bold one in the Ukraine.
He who cannot be named.
That's him. He's got a cleft lip. He says, "Come up with some original jokes I've not heard. I'll laugh at it."
Yeah. I mean, we've had some right laughs with him about taking the piss out of each other, ripping it out of each other, and people probably look at it, and if you didn't know any of us, you'd look and you think, "Okay, no, this is getting a bit brutal." No, it's just us being idiots.
Now, which leg, though, Steve?
The
one in the cupboard or the one on the footstool?
Oh, is it on it? Is it in cupboard?
He keeps looking at the middle, so what was the middle leg and laughing? That's what the problem is. I've got to put my leg on charge. What? He knew he was nearly out of charge because he kept going round in circles. Yeah, you can't do jokes about somebody losing a limb. Why?
Hi, Martin.
Hey up, Martin.
Right. Oh, when Lisa's friend Diane and Garth had that car accident just before Christmas, and Garth had his leg trapped. My first comment to that was, "When's he buying Parrot?"
Exactly.
And he laughed at it.
Your leg beeps at you. Oh, for fuck's sake. I wonder how many times William's gone in the kitchen, his leg's gone off, and he thought the microwave was ready.
All the time on the cooker. The fucking cooker's not on.
A fucking leg.
That brings a question to mind. Does it beep at him when he's going in reverse? Beep, 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 beep.
I think it's definitely a British thing, that sense of humour, though, isn't it? The taking the piss when something bad happens. It's, fuck it, we'll take the piss out of it because it's easier to do that.
No, I mean, personally, seeing both sides of it, obviously, before I met you guys, the situation is dealt with a lot easier if you can sit there and take the piss out of each other and have a good laugh about it instead of, everything's got to be sad and it's got to be this big,
You see, Kevin Bloody Wilson, you've probably never seen him, Tyler, but he summed it up really well. He did a joke about Americans, differences between Americans, Australians, and the British, right? And the difference is, if an American walks in a room and trips over something, he goes, "Fucking wanking motherfucker, who put that there, blah, blah, blah." We do it, we walk in the room, trip over something, and we go, "Fuck me, I should have put the light on." That's the difference. Americans, your sense of humour is, as a whole, countrywide, is you tend not to laugh at things like when somebody loses a limb or something bad happens. You tend not to laugh at it the same.
Well, no, because you got to think for the last how many years, especially how as far as America's went, that's all politically incorrect. It's all offensive. It's all, all that bullshit.
How do you think people like the fire brigade, ambulance crews, soldiers, people like that, that black sense of humour. I've heard stories from ambulance crews where they've gone to like a really bad, like an old person's died in a flat. And some of the jokes they come out with about a dead body, you would think, oh my fucking God, that is sick.
I was going to say,
Do you also think that's
coppers and undertakers as well?
That's how they deal
that's
with
their
it.
way of dealing with it, though? Yeah.
You laugh at
Well,
it.
it's like when my mum passed. We didn't want to go home, Mum, so we went to Dunkin' Donuts and just reminisced over all fucking witty shit she used to come out with.
I mean,
Especially about the lady that lives across the street with a rather large posterior.
there was a film I was watching where I think it was Mark Wahlberg. They were saying it was he was getting asked psychological questions like, "How's your relationship with your father?" Oh, it's a lot better since he's died, and I just laughed.
Yeah,
Because it's funny.
Because it's like it just went. Well, our relationship's gotten better since. Yeah. It's yeah.
but the woke lot will get really offended at that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the reasons I stick with the same GP. She's got used to the fact that I'll make a joke out of the stuff that's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And she knows which one's bothering me the most, because that's the one that I'll be probably telling the worst jokes about.
Hey, talking of dark sense of humour, we've got Dave and D-Dub, so it's going to be...
How you doing? Well, you've risen the dead 2 weeks on trot.
Yeah. He is alive.
Barely.
Or he's not moderating on his World of Warships.
No, they got that competition on at the minute, haven't they? So it was next month. He's doing he's back to doing his World Warships thing. Hope you're well, David.
Yeah.
Oh, nap time, is it?
Yeah.
I would say he's probably looking for a virgin to drain their blood, but that's Manchester. Oh, sorry, it's Greater Manchester, so it's doubtful.
Yeah.
It's doubtful.
Yeah, he's not going to find one there.
Well, the main thing, Dave, is you're still alive. That's always
It's
good
better than the alternative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I love when Robin Williams did a movie about that and redid that line. I did not have sex relations with that woman. I wanted to, but I didn't.
I love Robin Williams. That was a funny man.
Oh my!
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy who was American, but he did a lot of dark humour.
Yeah.
Like his drinking, like when he was.
Do you think Miss Doubtfire could actually be made now?
When he got off the alcohol, when he was talking about getting drunk, and you know, and the drugs thing and all of that, when he was talking about that, some of the jokes he was doing about that were fucking epic.
Oh, is it live at Madison Square Gardens when he did that one? Jesus, where?
Yeah. Well, it's like when
you had to watch it 3 times because each time you'd miss 2 jokes in between laughing.
It's like that one that Billy Connolly goes on about when he was drinking. Him and I think he was with Pam at the time. They got invited to this big house for Christmas dinner, and they were serving deer, not turkey. And he found a glass of cherry. He says, "Look, I've got the nose."
Like we said last night, the day, because we were saying with G about Billy Connolly, and I don't think he's got long left, bless him.
No, unfortunately, no, I don't think he has.
And I guarantee the day Billy Connolly dies, I will probably end up crying about it. I will. I know I will, because that man is just fucking genius. He really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The trouble is, he doesn't even know he's funny half the time.
Yeah, but that's what's good about it. His way of telling jokes isn't like a lot of today's comedians who, well, they're not funny. But he just does stories. But they're real. Most of his stories are just stories of his life and other people's that he just adds a little bit onto here and there, and then he just tells a story for 20 minutes. Or stops halfway through.
He doesn't. Sometimes he tells half a story.
Goes off over it, goes, "Oh, squirrel!" And then comes back to it exactly at the right spot.
Sometimes.
Sadly, nowadays, with everything, with his Parkinson and everything, he just can't do it.
No.
Which is sad.
No, I'm not saying the Americans don't have a sense of humour. It's just not many of them.
I'm more speaking generally. There is now and again there's some people who were funny, Americans. George Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them. Oh, God. Brutal. Bill Hicks was brutal. But
yeah,
George Carlin. I watched the sketch about religion the other day. His bit on religion was so fucking true, and the way he was talking about Americans. I don't know if you've ever watched him, Tyler, but if you've never watched George Carlin, he had Your Country, and
surprisingly, they actually still have a lot of
Evening, Mike.
Evening, man.
Hey, mate. Probably think I'm slagging. What do I say, America? That I'm just picking on you, which I do, admittedly, but it's a joke. But well, sometimes it's a joke, but yeah. But generally speaking, Americans are so wrapped up in their own little world. You don't see the rest of the world and what's going on and the humour that's out there.
Bill Hicks talking about the Iraq War, first Iraq War.
You've reminded me of that now. Oh God, yeah. The other one who was funny as well was Dennis Leary.
Oh, Dennis Leary, when he just goes into those stream of consciousness pieces.
Dennis Leary, when he was talking about, not smoking, not eating steak, not drinking coffee, blah, 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 not having sex with loads of partners and all this. And the way he went into a full-on, because Dennis Leary's obviously, he's American, but he's Irish American. And he spent a lot of time in Ireland. He spends a lot of time over here now, Dennis. And it went from American to 75-80% Irish. I swear to God, he just went flat out. It was brutal.
Another one who's good for stream of consciousness is Henry Rollins.
Yeah. Henry's a very clever man.
I can't pick on you this week, Dave. You're not on, so
said, Dave, you know the only way I'm getting out of the heat this week is if you jump on the show. You know how this works.
Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. That was
Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him live years ago.
And Tyler, Jeff Dunham did one of the characters after Tyler, you know.
Bubba J.
I knew where it was coming. Same time, Matt, I could see you being seen that real quick.
I'm sorry. We love you, Dave. You know that.
Yeah.
That's all right, Dave. We can pick on you from there. we're equal opportunities in this show.
Absolutely.
I'm an equal opportunity complete bastard. I pick on everybody. The sad thing is, Tyler, you ever thought is a serious thing, and I include the UK in this. If we keep going and letting people like the woke community go where kids are concerned, right? Our kids, as they grow up, are not ever going to really know what a proper sense of humour is.
Oh, no.
So you end up with a society of people who are offended by everything.
Well, it's like
You
even
can't-
the cartoons my kids watch are 85-90% stuff that I watched when I was a kid, because it's not, vulgar or anything, but there are things, especially as an adult, when you're watching it and like rewatching it, you're like, yeah, I didn't catch that as a kid.
Yeah, but look at the cartoons we had as kids. We had like
we were
Roadrunner,
talking
Wile E.
about this
Coyote.
earlier.
Well, yeah. Could
We
never,
had
Dustin
would never have that.
Stop the pigeon.
Dustin and Motley.
Peppa Pig, who was not Peppa Pig, Pepe Le Pew, who was a borderline stalker.
Yeah.
Borderline.
Oh, mon chéri.
Well, Johnny Bravo was a borderline stalker as well.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
There was so many funny. I mean, they tried banning Bugs Bunny, like the Bugs Bunny, the chases, the Bugs Bunny, and
Elmer
they
Fudd.
tried banning it because
Elmer
of the
Fudd,
chases were too violent for kids.
Yeah. Now you got Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote.
I was just going to say that, yeah. Because kids are going to get giant rockets and blow themselves up because they saw a cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, well, if kids are that
And a
stupid,
big box of TNT.
And don't forget, it's got to be Acme TNT.
Right. Branding is important with explosives.
I just loved it though when Wile E. Coyote set up a trebuchet and it just splattered him.
Where?
yeah, but apparently now, and this isn't just America, this is here as well, that's seen as too violent for our kids to watch.
Well, Tom and Jerry's completely out then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about it, Tom and Jerry has got the chases and them two trying to kill each other all the time, with the dog as well, obviously.
Yeah.
You've then got the big black lady in it, so you've got a weight issue because she's a big woman in it, right?
And she's black.
So we've got racism in there as well, and the weight thing. So that's wrong. And the violence. Oh no, ban it. Don't let your kids watch it. Kids don't look at it like that unless you tell them to look at it like that.
Well, exactly. Look at the cross-dressing stuff that Bugs Bunny did. It was funny. It wasn't offensive. It was funny.
Not once did I think, tomorrow I'm going to try and take over the world.
Yeah, I bet you did.
What are we doing tonight, Brain?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky.
That's him. That's him at work, isn't it? On the bus.
Yeah.
Oh God, I knew that was going to come up, Martin. Love Thy Neighbour.
I know. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but
So,
what?
what was the other one? Three's Company, where it was literally a three-way in the whole show.
yeah.
Love
If
Thy Neighbour.
you have seen Love Thy Neighbour, Love Thy Neighbour was a middle-class suburban household where the black middle-class couple moved in next door. And they'd either be round each other's houses or they'd meet up in the pub.
Yep.
Yeah, but the whole point of that, and what nobody now seems to see, is that the white person in it, the white couple, especially the bloke with his racist comments, was the one who looked the complete and utter dickhead.
And if you look back at the pilot episode, right at the end, he says, "That's it, we're moving." Why? Because of him next door. Why? Because he's black. No, he votes Conservative.
Change that now, it'd be because he votes Labour.
Yeah.
But
Whereas if it was the Scotland one, it would be, yeah, we're moving because they voted leave or they voted stay for the independence.
Who was it?
It
Who
was
wrote a
it's
song
funny.
about that?
Everybody
Oh
wants
yeah,
to
the Clash.
Yeah, go ahead,
Should
Bill.
I stay? Should I go?
Time for a garlic break.
I'm gonna go turn this
He's
heater off.
going to exterminate the porcelain.
But there was a lot of TV in the 70s and early 80s that you could take as being racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it ate our fuck mum.
Oh God, yeah,
I used to love that as a kid.
yeah. I mean, what was his name? The little guy,
Don Estelle.
Don Estelle. Yeah, he had a fantastic voice.
Oh, yeah. He was a good singer. In fact, he lived in the next town up from where my grandma and granddad used to live. He lived in Makeup and they lived in Whitworth.
Yeah.
Or if you want to be posh, Whitworth.
But some of those shows, I mean, they had to go at I thought, Mum, because he was a white guy who was an Indian serf.
He was born in India.
He was born in India.
Ain't half hot, Mum. Oh.
Some brilliant jokes though in that show.
Yeah.
What about
who was always the loser?
The Sergeant Major.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about 40 Towers then?
Lofty Flowers.
There was racism in that. There was racism in 40 Towers.
Don't mention the war.
I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
Anyway, you started it in Poland. Yes, Dave, we know you're way too young to remember the Goons.
Oh, God, the Goons are brilliant. I still listen to the Goons now.
That's no way to talk about Dave.
I even had some of them on that 45 RPM 7-inch plastic type thing.
Hey, what you'll get up to in your private life is between you and that person.
What you do with your plastic thing at night is, well,
See, I knew Bill getting that 3D printer was going to be a problem.
that's why it's been going through so much VG. That's
No, I actually had an original copy of the Ying Tong song.
I've got it on my phone. I had it as my ringtone for ages.
Mm.
And the B-side to that, I'm Walking Backwards for Christmas.
Oh, going back to Monty Python, they couldn't release I Like Chinese these days.
Yeah.
They only come up to your knees.
But I mean, Steve mentioned him earlier, Spike Milligan, the stuff he wrote. If he saw what was happening now with comedy, he'd be turning in his grave, won't he?
Well, I think most of the comedians from that era would.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get why everybody gets so fucking offended. I just don't get it. It's got to be an age. It's got to be an age thing. It must be. And yeah, Tyler's in his 30s, and DW's what you said. He's
He's in his
younger.
20s. He's a proper embryo.
And yeah, there are people out there who have still got a brain in their head and don't take offence at the jokes.
Well, I mean, it's honestly common sense if you really look at how it's being said, and it's not derogatory, it's not hateful, it's taking the piss out of somebody.
Yeah. That's what a joke is. He's taking the piss out of someone, a situation, and something is always the butt of the joke.
Most of the dark humour is usually done about situations where it's too painful to really think about.
Yay!
Hey,
Hey up, G.
Hey, G.
Where it's too painful to think about really what it is.
Yeah.
So you sort of take the piss out of that situation, like Steve with losing his leg, which was pretty careless of him.
I know. It's about time he found it.
Yeah, same with William.
Yeah.
Well, you set it down one day and just it's gone. It's like the other sock.
Exactly, Lisa. What you going to call the police, Lisa? Because I've called them all sorts of things over the years.
Can't repeat some of what I've called them. Well, I can, but we're trying to stay on air.
Yeah, well, if the police are going to tackle anything, it'll obviously be YouTube, won't it? It'll be anything like this, they'll come after us.
Yeah.
They come after you for this, if it's something serious, you don't want to do anything about that.
Yeah.
You have to give your address when you set up your channel?
I'm not giving up my address for anybody.
So then how are they going to get... Yeah, but how are they going to know where you live then if you don't give your address anyway?
Because they search the IP address. It's easy enough to do, believe me.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised who you can find.
Oh, bacon sandwich.
Bacon sandwich. Oh. Brown sauce or tomato?
I like mine plain.
I like mine plain. But if I have to, it's got to be HP.
Now, I have to ask, what does brown sauce actually taste like? Like
Right,
we don't
so-
have we don't have it here at all, man. Don't give me that.
Imagine a
Hey,
really,
nice you see to ask and everything instead of just assuming.
imagine a really good chili sauce with lots of different flavors in it, loads of different spices, so you get layers of it, with just a nice heat over the top of it. That's HP.
I think
When
one
they
of your
first got the
children is trying to
When
make
they
you
bought the
disappoint
recipe from
everyone.
India, they made a batch of HP sauce, tried it, and hated it. But he had that much of it that they put it in a barrel and put it in the cellar.
Let it rot.
2 years later, they found the barrel, took the lid off it, and tried it again. And they couldn't get enough of it. It has to be aged properly, or it tastes vile.
Yes. I would have gone with if
Got
it's
to be aged like a fine whiskey.
or like a fine reviewer.
Oh,
Like
well.
Lee.
I was gonna say I'm waiting to see which whiskey it is.
It has to be aged like a fine reviewer, like Lee.
Yeah.
Aged to perfection. I'll
Not
give
like
that.
a little Scottish one.
You can give me that a tenner later. Anyway,
Mm.
What, the little Scottish one, aged to defection?
if he was a bottle of wine, he'd be vinegar.
He's more like milk.
Yeah, that's gone off and got lumpy green bits in.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll say that bottle of milk went off years ago.
Mm.
Like, you know, when your grandma passed away and you went through her cupboards and found that bottle of ketchup from, 1962? Why is it black? I don't know. It's still good.
You see, the trouble is, in America, even your tomato sauce is overly sweetened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You put a lot more sweetener in it than we'd have in. And of course, your favourite food colourings as well, which are a night for you and are a nightmare.
It's funny you bring that up, Max. I saw an article the other day and it made me laugh. They're just now realizing that food colors are causing, medical issues and cancer and everything. Just now.
No
realizing.
shit.
So
Really?
Mm.
they're now pulling it not off the shelves, but if you
We
get,
heard it here first, people.
if you get food assistance through the state, so you get food stamps or anything like that to get your groceries with, you can no longer buy anything that has food coloring in it, pretty much.
It's funny that, because we can't buy it in the first place.
Do you know what's amazing is in the UK and the rest of Europe, we knew that about probably, I'd say, 20 years ago.
Oh, at least.
30.
It just proves how much is hidden from you as a country.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, which is being serious now, and not like we've said other weeks, is the amount of stuff like we've said we've been talking about something, and I've said to you, "Oh, go and have a look at this, mate." Send you a link, and you can't look at it.
Yep.
Well, late 1940s, we discovered the link between smoking and cancer. It was first published 1953. The American tobacco industry was still denying it in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and they were giving away, full stand ashtrays and jackets and embroidered with their brand name just to be bought enough cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that in this country as well.
Yeah.
You got,
I couldn't tell you the amount of Marlboro memorabilia used in years,
I had loads of Marlboro stuff. I've still got the Zippo lighter.
I've still got a few of my Zippos actually. A few of the I've got
Yeah.
a solid brass Benson Hedges one.
Yeah, I've got the brass Marlboro one. But I remember in the 80s going to some of the festivals and the big gigs. They were sponsored by Marlboro.
Yeah.
And you went up there and you showed him your ticket stub, and you got 10 fags free.
Yep.
So you'd be going around finding non-smokers and getting their ticket stubs. I think I got about 15 packs at one gig.
Well, just look back in day, you got JPS sponsored F1 teams.
Marlboro.
You got Rothmans under Marlboro Yamaha.
B&H, I think, as well.
Marlboro were the last.
Gaulois
Yeah. Gaulois sponsored Renault.
and Yamaha.
Yeah. West was another tobacco company that sponsored McLaren.
Camel cigarettes.
Wasn't there that 555 brand that sponsored
555.
Yep.
Which we call
Colin McRae, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was 555, which was the most popular cigarette in Scotland, I think. I think it was anyway. I remember, when we were younger, Bill. So a while ago. Shut up, Dave, before you say a word. It's like you had the adverts in America saying, smoke Marlboro cigarettes or smoke such and such cigarettes. They're good for you. They actually promoted them as being good for you.
Remember the perfect pairing to this meal. Perfect for you have before, after, whatever. Oh, yeah.
And the Marlboro Man, of course, the guy who played the Marlboro Man died of throat cancer.
I think it were in London now. I think there's a war museum.
Yeah.
And there's a plaque on wall from Second World War. I'm paraphrasing here. Offering cigarettes as doctors offering cigarettes for health conditions or anxiety and what have you.
Yeah, Wills used to do it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will cigarettes. God. The trouble is, in the UK, and most of Europe, they've seen that cigarettes are dangerous, and the vaping thing did come in, and we know how that's gone. But in America, cigarettes are still almost seen as a healthy option.
I mean, I hate to say it this way, but ever since disposables hit, a lot of that has shifted over here. But you've got people like, Lou saw a Joe Rogan interview the other day, and somebody was interviewing with him, and they had a proper mod, proper actual RTA and everything, and they handed it to him. And he hits it, and he puts it down. He's like, see, it's not like the disposable gas station ones. Those ones you get this huge rush when you first use them and this and that. For you to use the phrase chasing the dragon with a disposable vape.
Just what we need.
And then you've got all these people that are on these, replacement nicotine pouch things from Siberia and shit.
I mean, it's like G was saying last night, the part of the reason that vaping, and I agree with what he said, part of the reason a lot of people have gone across to the pod systems, not like just the pods, but reusable pods, is because they're so much lighter, they're easier to use. You've got a pod, pull the top out, liquid in, put it back in, plump, off you go.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. This is why all the reviewers are bitching about it, because they haven't got an RTA to review it. There will still be people who will, like I do, and like other people who still, like you guys, who like to use sort of their stuff, their older stuff. But the market has changed. We all knew it was going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Markets always change, right?
Yeah.
So these people who are moaning about, oh, well, I can't make any money, or I'm
It's
not
about-
getting given these things. Well, move with the time. You've got to move with the times. If your channel, your YouTube channel, is reviewing whatever, televisions or whatever, you have to change with the times of that and keep up with what is coming out.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, but if that is your business, you have to keep up with it.
Well, exactly.
I
And if you're
hate to
stupid,
say it, but pods and disposables are just as much of a pipe bomb as a Big Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh, the funniest ones and the dumbest ones I see are people. Oh, I've quit using disposable. I quit vaping altogether, and then they stick the disposable in a cup of water. That's a good option. You already don't know. You already know what you're supposed to.
They're definitely candidates for Darwin Awards.
Yeah, American intelligence.
well, I don't know. There's a lot of British people who aren't much better, mate.
Yeah.
But the British ones don't shout about it as much.
The thing is,
No,
Mike,
we tend to keep them hidden away in Lincolnshire.
the thing is, Mike, right, if you brought your channel back and went to doing reviews again, you could, and went back and you did like pods and stuff like this that I know you use. You could easily do that, but I know you'd move with the times. That's the difference, because you've got to move with the times, and that's reviewing anything. If it's like Lee with his channel, with obviously with the guitar stuff, you're not going to stick with stuff that was done in 1950 because it'd be pretty fucking pointless because none of it applies now.
Yeah,
you've got to move with it.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, like you're saying about most people using these pod systems now and trying to get off disposables. I hear so many times people that use disposable. Well, I'm down to 2% juice in my disposable. Okay, you could spend the exact same, if maybe $10 more on an actual pod system, and then get a bottle of juice on top of it, and you'd be good. You wouldn't have that issue.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't want to be using disposables anyway. At least I don't. I don't want to be using it, especially if it's saying that the juice level is that low. I mean, you're asking for it to burn something.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
The issue I have with the disposables, and it's the same one I've always had, and I know Dave does, and quite a few I know Bill does, is how people dispose of batteries.
Yep.
Because people don't seem to understand that even when a battery is discharged,
hey, up crotch cab.
They're still. Oh, fuck's sake. He's at it again. It's not fully discharged, therefore that can cause a fire. But people don't care. That's the issue.
Everybody over here throws them right in the bin. Nobody recycles them properly.
That's why you're having fires at the. We've had it here as well.
Yeah.
Because people don't dispose of batteries properly. Even when it comes down to, batteries like normal, these people don't bother disposing of them correctly at the right places. They go into the big crusher where all the rubbish is disposed of. It goes into the crusher, it gets crushed down. You've got a fire.
Well, so I saw a video the other week. Somebody put a quarter full acetylene tank in their trash.
Yep.
Oh, the trash truck came by. The compressor went on to actually compress all the trash down, and the entire back of the truck blew up.
I think it was Salford. It was actually Salford Recycling Centre.
Dave, what you doing?
No, it wasn't actually Dave. Dave does dispose of his batteries properly. He throws them in the upstairs neighbour's window. But no, I'm sure it was Salford one caught fire. But there's been quite a few of them because people don't dispose of batteries properly.
Yeah, we've had a dust cat fire in Whitby. There's been one in Scarborough as well. Just
I haven't heard of there's been any around here.
Oh God, he's off.
You don't need giving any ideas, Dave.
No.
Dave will be throwing packages of 18650s in his upstairs neighbour's window.
Just get yourself a bit of cheap copper pipe. Short circuit it and
Do not tell people how to build things like that on a live show. I'm sat here in Ireland and you're on about building things like that. Oh, YouTuber arrested for terrorist activities. Thanks,
I believe there's still a certain book that you need to send me, Matt. It was either you or Bill that had the copy of it.
Probably. I have to look that up. Oh, it's me that's got that particular book. But the problem is he's sending that book.
Oh, yeah.
Is highly illegal.
Everywhere.
And if I get caught sending it, it comes under, I think it comes under the Terrorist Act, for one.
I think I would have the same thing receiving it, actually.
Yeah. It also comes under the internet. It's one of the internet law, basically the IP law providers law. It's like if you send certain material that, we were on about nonsense. It's a very similar to rule to that because it's a terrorism thing.
Yeah. And
if you get caught sending it, they can take your internet off you and you will never ever get internet ever. The same as this, like I warned on another show, I said to Sean, there are certain words you do not use on the internet in combination. Like if you were to say Donald Trump and another word of what Bill was talking about, don't anyone say it. If you use those words in a sentence and say put a time on it as well, and that gets picked up by the FBI or CIA, you're in shit. Big time.
Oh, yeah.
And we're enough of that already.
Are you in the shit, Matt, or is Bill in the shit, or is the person that says it in the shit?
Well, it would be a combination. I would be in the shit because it's my channel. Therefore, I'm allowed it. And yes, yeah, you're right, Dave. It is Section 48.
Right.
Bit of blackmail each week, then.
Yeah, when I was doing pyrotechnics, I used to phone ahead and phone my order in, so it'd be ready just to collect from the pyrotechnics wholesale. And I used to deliberately wind up the owner of the company by using the D word instead of the I word for all the electronic ignitions.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, DW. I've noticed you two were talking about religion and so on. At the end of the day, if you're Christian, why should you be, if that's what your beliefs are, DW, you should be able to air your views. My personal views on religion is I not a fan of the organised religions. But if you've got faith, good for you. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You should be allowed to say what you believe in if you've got faith.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that a few times, Dave.
Mm.
Oh, I'm not afraid of the law, and I'm not afraid to stand up for things, but I just don't want to particularly go away for terrorism.
Mm.
Yeah, one stay in Munster Mansion's enough.
Yep, don't really want to go back.
Mm.
Mind you, it'd be closer for you. You can come and visit me.
Yeah. You'd be fairly close to Mr. Watkins.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
Has he goofing his job off?
I would love to get close to Mr. Watkins, as would a lot of people, for the same reason, I think. I do terrorise you all the time, don't I, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
So that's who keeps reporting me. It's Dave.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dave, the Salford terrorist.
Well, you've got a Gwendolyn.
Oh. Fucking hell, that's lethal.
Mm.
That's like biochemical warfare, that is.
Well, this afternoon.
Oh. She gets on one, I'll tell you what. She's definitely got ADHD. Well, I'm pretty sure she's got ADHD. So you can't really blame her for some of it.
I was going to say one of the problems she's got is on a weekend and that, most of the time spent with adults.
Yeah.
No, it's not spent with Matt.
Yeah, just don't you ever accuse me of being an adult. There's no need for that.
Sorry, my mistake. A bigger person then.
Unfortunately, Martin, there is no chance of me ever getting on the same wing as Mr. Watkins, even with vulnerability in my disabilities. Because when I was in there last time, I still had some of my disabilities, and they wouldn't put me on a vulnerable wing. I would refuse to go on a vulnerable wing anyway. I'm not. That is one thing I'm not. It's not a nonce. And me being near the likes of that person, I'm trying to not say what I want to say, but that person would end very badly. It would end very, very badly. I mean, I don't think you know, Martin, I was abused as a kid. So for me, people like him are, they're lower than anything. I don't deserve to breathe. Ever.
Yeah, stuff like that. The case for capital punishment is a good one.
A damn good reason to bring it back. You see, I've always been wary saying about capital punishment. I've always been wary of it because there's been cases where it's not been 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a chance somebody could have been executed, and it turns out they may have been innocent, you know. But in the case of somebody like that, or Gary Glitter, or other people of that ilk, we all know they're guilty. People like that, I'd be quite happy to stand there, just pull the lever, bang, done. Yeah, it is, Dave. They put them all together, and then they allow them on that wing to. I mean, what was the one? The Soham murderer, Huntley.
Yeah, Ian Huntley.
When I was in Wakefield, Huntley was on there on the nonces wing, and he was kicking up a fuss like he always does because he wanted extra blankets, he wanted extra tea bags, he wanted this, he wanted that for himself. Like a lot of them not do. He kicked up such a fuss. He also wanted, and this is, you can check this as true, he actually wanted the court files because the court files also had all of the crime scene pictures. And I'm sorry if this makes anyone feel sick, but all the crime scene pictures also had the images of the 2 young girls who were killed of the sexual assault pictures. And by law in this country, he can have those pictures. Now tell me that's fucking right, because that's
It's not.
That's just. I think there's cases, Martin, like murders where genuinely somebody's done something in the heat of the moment. They've just snapped, lost it for whatever reason, and they've accidentally killed somebody. Not meant to necessarily, but they sort of deserve, yes, a long sentence, but they deserve maybe another chance, given time.
Yeah.
But there are cases where people are like that who are never going to change. You know, if you let them out, they're just going to go straight back to being the same sort of individual.
Well, it proved it when they let fucking Glitter out on.
Yeah.
Now they're letting him out again, aren't they?
Mm.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Honestly,
Neil was on about it the other day. Samo.
yeah, he was done in this country. He went over to the Philippines, was done in the Philippines, managed to get it transported back to the UK, was released on license, and was back within 2 weeks.
Sorry, Dave.
Didn't he also go to Vietnam?
Yes.
Yeah, you were in Vietnam as well, yeah.
I apologise, Dave, if that made you feel sick. I'm sorry. It wasn't my intention to make anyone feel ill, but it's unfortunately, it's that reality, isn't it? And I think there's certain people that need to face up. Not you, Dave, but there's some people who need to face up to the reality of this world.
Yeah.
And when you've got kids or grandkids, or the thought of something happening to those, yeah. The issue you've got is you have going to turn a bit political now. You've got members of Parliament, like the current Prime Minister, who seems to defend paedophiles in the north of England.
Yep.
Yes.
And I still say, like I said to Lee and Lisa, both privately and on Lee's show and on here, I still think Keir Starmer, can't prove it, I think Keir Starmer is in some way involved.
There's definitely something dodgy about him.
I'm not saying he definitely is one of those, but he definitely knows who is, and he is protecting those people.
I can believe that, Dave. Yeah.
It's utterly just like we've talked about it before, Dave. You know, we've talked about it, and like I said to you, it fascinates me in the aspect that there's a part of my brain, and this is going to sound sick, but there's a part of my brain wants to know what is it in these people's brains that makes them look at a child and be that way inclined. What is there in there? What causes that? Because for many years, I'll tell you now, I couldn't bath Gwendolyn. I refused to bath Gwendolyn in case people saw me as a father bathing my daughter as that being wrong. It was in my own head. It just got in my head and it wouldn't fucking go. Some of that is probably my own mental issues and my paranoia, but it really it twisted my brain.
I had the same issue with my son.
Like you, Craig, I'm sure when your daughter was young, you probably bathed her and so on. Which is perfectly normal. It's the perfectly normal fatherly duty, I suppose, job, duty, whatever you want to call it.
Change the nappy, wipe the bums, yeah.
That's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But these people are just sick. Yeah, I did know about the Mr. Tumble one as well, Martin. Yeah. There's something wrong with them. There really is, these people. Something really, really wrong.
Well, in my head, the people that are trying to defend them and their actions, there's even more wrong with you. Why the hell would you try to defend that?
And have you noticed a lot of these people tend to work at the fucking BBC?
Yeah, strange that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they all protect each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear about that one, Lisa, the cannibals. The cannibals one. It does make you wonder if the same thing applies to those people. I mean, the easiest cure in that case would be a scalpel, remove their brain, problem solved.
Mm.
Or a couple of bricks.
Yeah, just don't get your thumbs in the way.
No.
Stick them over stick them over the dry stone wall.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Or tie some Acme TNT around them.
That's too quick.
Well, yeah. It'd have to be slow and painful.
Bill, we're not making thermite. We're not having the conversation again.
It's terrible, though, like when you actually think like that, isn't it? You're thinking that way in case somebody accuses you. You know, there's your head is automatically thinking that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, garden shears would work well as well, Dave. Yeah.
Blunt ones.
You're not getting sadistic now. I like it. It's cool. Hey.
No, not just blunt ones. Rusty blunt ones.
Ooh. Yeah. And no antiseptic after.
No.
With a bit of WD-40 sprayed over it, just clean them up a bit better.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, just for that extra lubrication.
No, I have a far better thing. WD-40.
Tiger balm.
Brake cleaner.
Ooh. Yeah, that'd do it.
It would clean the wound. To anybody who's ever worked as a mechanic and had a cut on their hand and then used brake cleaner and got it in the cut, you will know what pain that is. It's fucking agony.
or just clean the one with some bleach.
Yeah, I agree, Dave. I think Craig is turning into like the executioner, isn't he? He's got quite sadistic in his old age. I totally
You
agree
learn
with
from
you.
you learn from your peers.
Oh dear,
You're welcome.
you really are fucking.
But, I mean, there are certain people and certain crimes that cannot be excused. There is just no excuse.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Bill.
And then you get all these woke people that try and normalise it by calling them fucking maps. Fuck off.
Oh. Minor attracted people.
No, it's a fucking pervert.
No, it's that other word that rhymes with speedo.
That as well.
I'm sorry, Lisa, we said this, didn't we? There is only word applies to them. It's not any of the fancy words. It's not any of that. They are a fucking pervert or a... Oh, sorry, I'm going to say it. Or a paedophile. That is what you are. A fucking paedophile. End of.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but trying to give it a nice name.
Same as any man
No.
who does like the same to a sexual act against another man or a woman. Come to that, they're a rapist. You can't put any other word for it. That is what they are.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
of course you will
that.
do.
It's like that interview with Chopper. Anybody that's a rapist or done anything against children, you're not going to have a nice time in prison.
Oh, Chopper Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a lunatic, bless him.
I'm saying not going to have. I don't think they should have a nice time in prison.
I did see an interview the other day, an interesting one that will be seen as racist, but I actually agree with this guy who said it. And it wasn't Samo. It was another bloke, ex-prisoner. He said he thinks because of all of the grooming gangs in prison now, Muslim grooming gangs, that all Muslims should be put in their own segregated prisons. Because Muslim gangs are getting other people to join them in prison, which is causing a lot of trouble. So let them have their own religion. That's fine. Let them have their own prison, all on their own. That way, if you want to fight, go and fight with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem solved. But apparently now we're going to have a Supermax in the UK. That's the latest one.
Is it going to be called Manchester?
He's putting a wall round Salford.
Yeah.
No, Neil was on it about Samo was on about it the other day.
Yeah.
The government are going to spend something like, I think it was 10 billion on this new Supermax prison.
How many times have they tried Supermax prisons, though?
Well, we haven't ever had a Supermax prison in the UK. The closest we got to it was Belmarsh.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to have like a Supermax prison. But the issue is, where are we going to find 10 billion?
Yeah.
With
the 22 million black hole we've got. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Where are they going to find the staffing as well?
Staffing's going to be a problem.
I'm going to say that they can't get enough staff at prisons they've got.
I agree with you on that as well, Martin. The incels are being laid online. You know, go grab a beer, get laid. Yeah. I just, for me, it's. I've got nothing against Muslim people. I really haven't. I have nothing against. There's a lot of decent Muslims out there.
Well, Matt, it's like any group. There's always some people that are going to have a bad mindset and they're going to be out there to take advantage of everybody else. It doesn't
It's
matter
the
where you're
extreme.
from.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You know. Like the religious, if we're on about religion, like the religious groups in America.
I was just going to say, look at the super churches.
Yeah. From supermax prisons to super churches.
One and the same, innit?
I was going to say,
we're going to go side by side pictures here, folks. Can you spot the difference?
Yeah.
no.
I know where we could put them all. Isle of Wight.
There's already 2 prisons on the Isle of Wight.
Just make it one big prison.
Parkhurst and Albany.
Yeah.
Now, find a good new location for the TT. Make it the Isle of Man because that way they can't swim.
Oi!
can swim
You
from
just
there.
leave the Isle of Man alone, you fucking...
I said find a good location as an alternative to
We've
the
got one. It's called the Isle of Man TT for a reason. It's on the Isle of Man. Now leave it alone. How about we stick the prison in Whitby?
Well, we've had an insane asylum. So
That explains a lot. So that's why they let you out every Sunday.
Unfortunately, we've got 2 pedo hostels in this town now.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Why on earth would you put... I mean, Whitby, if people don't know, is a holiday town. You know, young children running around, shorts, bikinis, blah, blah, blah. Why on earth would you put that and then put a hostel there? That's like...
Yeah. Beggars belief.
Wow. What genius came up with this idea?
Probably Keir Starmer.
Yeah.
Or Ed Miliband.
Didn't you get a choice to vote on it or anything, Bill?
No.
Because usually they're meant to like ask the local community.
This one started off as one halfway house. There are now 2 hostels. And because they brought it in as a halfway house without too many people noticing, they managed to upgrade them.
That snuck it in, just
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Lisa. Well, they did that with Gary Glitter, didn't they? They rehoused him. What was it? 1/4 of a mile from a school. Oh, just so you can see better. Here you go, Mr. Glitter. Here's a telescope. That bit is a joke, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Instead of putting these people in hostels, why not put the solar farms there instead?
Yeah.
Just a thought. Instead of hugging any shut at farmland.
Hey. They can leave my nurse alone, Martin.
No, Clabbies.
I'll be honest, in a day, I wouldn't have said no either.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll just draw the line when the actress got to Teletubbies. Do you realise Teletubbies is nearly 30 years old? That stunned everybody to silence.
Mhm.
What stunned me to silence is that you actually looked up how old the Teletubbies was.
I don't need to because my son's almost 30. And I had to suffer that shite when he was little.
Yeah, we'll believe you. Millions wouldn't.
Mm. Mm.
Bill's just upset about it because Bill had to play Tinky
What he probably did was drop them off at school, come back and it was on, and stick your TV on and sit and watch a full episode.
You are joking.
And then realise, fuck, what am I doing? Because I've done that. But turned the TV, dropped the kids off at school, and turned the TV on, and went back to watching what was already on the TV and watched the full episode. I thought, what the?
Oh, God.
Mm.
No, you watch porn like a normal husband.
Yeah, Teletubbies in the late 90s was fucking dreadful.
Mm.
I hated
The one that I hated was the Tweenies. I couldn't stand the Tweenies.
I can't believe these two are having a punch up over which was the better kids program.
I've never seen the Tweenies.
Oh, I hated, didn't like the Tweenies.
No, what was that one that had? I can't remember what the hell it was called. It had like 4 or 5 guys in it that were all like the hosts of the show. Can't remember what the hell it was now.
Was it on normal telly or was it on Pornhub?
Really?
It was on Pornhub. That is a whole different sort of series. Isn't it?
Mm.
I'll say, Matt, do you remember the Banana Splits?
Oh, banana splits, yeah.
No, I'm too young.
Oh, shit.
Lie.
Oh, it's the Wiggles.
Oh God, that Australian bunch of
Yep.
nitwits.
That's one word for them.
And you know what you can do with your third banana, don't you, Dave?
Mm-hmm. 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin.
Anyway, moving on quickly.
Can you guess what Surgery Craig's having tomorrow?
Mm.
Oh, so we will get away from that and go and play with our twangers.
Mm-hmm.
There's no wrong with playing your G-string on your twanger.
Mm-hmm.
And do it regularly.
G's not even here to answer, and you brought G into it.
Mm.
I bet
Yeah.
Martin still dresses up as the Pink Power Ranger.
Yeah, I still watch Rainbow.
Roger and Roger, and she did very often.
Yeah, it was Rod, Jane and Freddie, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Both.
was originally,
He started
yeah.
off as Rod, Jane and Roger, then it was Rod, Jane and Freddie.
Mm.
And she was originally married to Rod, and then she married Freddie.
And then Captain Pugwash was Roger in the Cabin Boy.
with his semen stains.
Stevie was in there somewhere, wasn't he? Oh, you see, he admits it. Martin admits it. He did dress as the Pink Power Ranger. The Pink Power Ranger.
If you want to go back in history, though, who remembers Pipkins?
Yeah.
That was disturbing.
Hartley hair.
Yeah. And top over the tortoise.
Yep.
God.
I mean, Hartley hair was disturbing to look at because it was the most flea-bitten puppy you've ever seen.
The Flower Pot Men.
And their little weed.
Bill and Ben. And Weed.
Oh,
No under the spotlight that weed, all that weed.
don't the jokes. When I was in Mr. Fox,
Bill's having flashbacks.
I'm having flashbacks. Yeah. There was two of us who used to dance the jig. The other one was Ben. The stick we got for that was unbelievable.
Oh,
That was when you found out you needed weed.
yes.
The clangers.
Oh, the clangers were class.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
The soup dragon.
Yeah, and the Clangers never went to the moon either. That was Stanley Kubrick made that as well.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing was about the clangers, if you listen carefully, they were swearing down those bloody whistles.
Yeah.
Because every so often they got it just a little bit wrong and you could make out what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Lisa. You've now really disturbed DW's head.
Oh, sure, we're doing that enough yesterday. We fucking a little more. Yeah, she's trying to teach DW the Yorkshire slang.
Before it was a crime.
Oh, God, Pat. Fucking hell, Pat Sharp.
Mm.
Michael Benty's potty time.
Yeah.
Oh, some of the historic battles he did, though, with those were brilliant.
Dave, you are really showing your age. The wooden.
You know,
I mean, if you want to go back further, Dave, we can go back. I'm sure you can go back further. Muffin the Mule,
Mm.
which, by the way, is still illegal in Ireland.
What, the programme?
You can't go muffin on a mule.
why not?
You don't got the joke, eh?
Oh, what was it? Lamb chops.
Yeah, there is a village called Muff, and it does have a diving club. in
Mm.
Ireland. I am determined to get a T-shirt because I actually have a T-shirt.
T-shirt saying the Muff Divers Club.
Muff Divers Club. This isn't me making it up. You can go and look this up. Tales of the Riverbank. Oh God. Dave's gone back to his
He's
third, fourth childhood.
Mm.
Oh, come on, Dave. You can go back beyond your teens.
Okay, now, David.
Kennelly is reminiscing tonight, isn't he?
Mm.
You're only in your second childhood. Yeah. Yes, they were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big fan of Magic Roundabout.
Dylan the Sound Rabbit.
And Dougal with his speed.
Mm.
Pick that up, please.
Never
No,
quite
what
sure
a
what-
true.
I'm never quite sure what Ermintrude was on. But he did make a very mellow.
Mm.
Yeah, it was definitely a downer. Definitely. I suppose Tyler's never watched the Magic Roundabout.
Yeah. It's got to be the original ones, not the remakes.
You've got to watch the Magic Roundabout, mate. It's
And Zebedee was on acid.
oh,
Mhm.
oh, was he banging some acid? He was bang on it.
Boing, time for bed.
Not forgetting that Jasper Carrot released an album of the Magic Roundabout.
No, it was only the B-side to the Funky Moped.
Now there's a classic song.
Jasper Carrot gets on top of the pops singing Funky Moped.
It was the
And
dance that went with it, though.
Ever listen to the A-side? Because the B-side was Magic Roundabout. That was just...
That was brilliant. It was so good. As it's just over 2 hours now, shall we
Now.
call it a day?
Mm.
I shall let you lot do your goodbyes. Away you go, ladies.
Bye.
Whose turn is it this week? Must be Tyler's.
Well, with my name change, I guess Matt's comment works for this week. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Thanks everybody for being here as always. Lee, thanks for coming on. We always appreciate you having on. Good conversations as always. Yeah, everybody have a good week. Hope last week wasn't too bad. Hope the next week's better. You know where we are if you need us. Not much different than we usually say, but you guys, like I said, you guys know where we are. So, all right, Craig, say goodbyes, buddy.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. I hope everyone does have a good week. We will be back again next week as usual. The group is there. If anyone's struggling, hope everyone has a good week, and I'll pass that on to Lee.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. It's always good fun to be on with you guys. We all have a good laugh. Don't take subjects too seriously. Most of them, anyway. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Right. Now,
Yes, but down to me. Yeah, like
hey,
the guy said.
oi,
What?
The old codger ain't gone yet.
Oh, it's just Bill. Just ignore him.
the group's there and the rooms are there. That includes you, Tyler.
Yeah, I know.
Your post earlier. Sorry,
Mhm.
but the group includes you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's the issue. It's been hitting again to where even having conversations with people is getting, anxious and all that shit.
Yeah, well, that's why you need to do it.
Oh, my end came off.
We all have our problems.
He's a good doctor about that.
Mm.
That's all right. I fixed it.
But yeah, I hope everybody has a really good week this week. And don't let too much worry you. It's not worth it. And over to you, Matt.
I can't help it. I like playing with it, Dave. Yeah, another decent show. Been a good laugh. Thank you for Lee to coming on. It's always fun when we get on a show together. Like the guy said, yeah, if you want any help, go and find somebody who will help you. Because we are there if you need any help. Just give us a bell. As Bill said, Tyler, you're a fucking numpty. You should have called us. Good to see David again. He's actually making an appearance for once. You can tell he's making an appearance because he's winding every fucker up again. So we'll have to sort another show out, Dave, and get you back on because we need somebody to moan at. And yeah, until next week, we shall see you all later, guys.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
I know.
Bye.